Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to the third episode of Origin-SMP. I played this for a day, and this is what I learned. Today, I played the Blazeborn, and I learned lots of new stuff about them, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have learned something too. If you didn't know, the races I play in this series are based off what you guys want in the comments, so if there's a race you'd like to see me try, make sure to let me know. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you already know this, but the chances are you're probably not. That being said, it's likely you're unfamiliar with what mod pack I'm running. I'm playing with the Origin-SMP mod pack from the CurseForge launcher. This mod pack has many exciting races to explore along with 14 different classes to choose from that can benefit your race in numerous ways. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about right now, feel free to check out my other tier list videos on that mod pack. The links for the mod pack and the videos should be in the description, and there will also be cards on screen throughout the video. I'll include a short little tidbit on the race in the top corner, but if you want the full 5-minute plus analysis, be sure to check out my race video. I made that huge detailed video so that I could save some time on these tiny little ones and deliver the most information possible in an efficient amount of time. In this mini-series I'm doing, I don't plan on beating the game. I just want to take my time and learn about the race in my own single-player world. With that being said, I played the Blazeborn for an entire day, and this is what I learned. So if you didn't already know, the Blazeborn start in the Nether. In my mod pack for Origin-SMP, there are multiple races who start in the Nether, so I'll try to give a more specific rundown of how to survive the Nether for the Blazeborn, but it's going to be very similar for all the other Nether-based races. As you may have been able to guess, food is pretty difficult to come by in the Nether. The main methods I used to sustain myself on my travels was mushroom soup. This was a pretty effective way to refresh some hunger, and even more effective if you pick the Cook to be your class. The Cook class gives you a significant boost in hunger restored if you make the food for yourself. Mushroom soup counts for that bonus and can help you survive even longer, especially when you can't find any mushrooms around. Another interesting way you can sustain yourself is by eating rotten flesh. Blazeborn are completely immune to the hunger and poison effects, so you can eat rotten flesh and spider eyes without any problem, and they're quite a nice snack. Unfortunately, the main way to get rotten flesh in the Nether is to kill zombie piglin, so you risk getting mobbed by the entire horde, but other than that, it's a good way to refill your hunger. In the Nether, making wooden tools is easy. There's lots of wood around in the mod pack I play. What's tough to come by is stone. To upgrade your wooden tools to stone tools in the Nether, you need to find blackstone, which was unfortunately pretty hard for me to come by. Alternatively, you can mine gold nuggets and turn them into golden tools and armor. For me, I wanted to get out of the Nether ASAP to make some good gear. In this playthrough, I picked the blacksmith for my class. The blacksmith gives any armor you create a toughness upgrade, so for me, iron armor was pretty close to a diamond equivalent. The blacksmith also makes your tools like your pickaxe, shovel, and regular axe mine faster, while it gives the sword increased damage. That being said, I needed to get out of the Nether quickly to get my iron upgrades. One of the ways you can escape the Nether as a Blazeborn is to find a ruined Nether portal. These are scattered all across the Nether, and they usually have enough supplies to fix it up in the accompanying chest. If you have no idea what a ruined Nether portal is, there'll be a clip on screen right now of me finding one, fixing it up, and going through it. Once you've finally made it to the overworld, you can take a breath, because the Blazeborn are pretty strong in both the Nether and the overworld. Blazeborn do not burn up in the daylight, and the only real environmental threat they face is rain and water. As you may have guessed, when Blazeborn come in contact with water, they start to take damage over time. An interesting fact I didn't know is snowballs pack an extra punch against the Blazeborn. Snowballs normally do no damage, but Blazeborns actually take a small bit of damage from them. Without any armor, it's 3 damage, which is equivalent to 1.5 hearts. But if these snowballs are thrown by a snowman, it's a hell of a lot more damage. It's 7 damage without any armor, which is equivalent to 3.5 hearts. Here's a clip of my friend who is a snowman throwing some snowballs at me. However, unlike rain, if it's snowing outside, you don't take any damage as the Blazeborn. While the Blazeborn are on fire, you do extra damage with your attacks. Just punching someone with nothing in your hand does 4 damage, or in other words, 2 hearts. Make sure to utilize this fire bonus in PvE and PvP combat. I personally thought slotting a flint and steel or fire charge in your offhand slot, where you'd normally put a shield or a torch, can be an effective way to light yourself or enemies on fire and get that extra damage in. To me, it was pretty interesting to see how Snowmen and Blazeborn actually counter each other. Snowballs do extra damage to Blazeborn, but assuming you have a way to start a fire, like using, as I said, a flint and steel in your offhand, snowmen take double damage from fire and lava. Both the snowman and the Blazeborn have avenues to do really high damage to each other. It's just a small, interesting interaction between the two races I never noticed before. After I ventured through the overworld for a couple hours and I got set up with iron or diamond gear, it was time for me to come back home. The Blazeborn are a great race to safely mine netherite. If you play on a multiplayer server, you can use this to your advantage and trade with any overworld friends you may have made. If you haven't made any friends in the overworld and maybe you made some enemies, then you can protect your netherite and defend it from being used by other players or other factions. What are they gonna do? Knock you into lava? The Nether will always feel the most natural place to set up your base for the Blazeborn. Although this race is great at PvP in the overworld, its real home is the Nether, and understandably, the Nether is where you get the most value out of the Blazeborn racial passives. The mod pack I play tries really hard to make it feel like less of a disadvantage to live in the Nether. There's tons of pre-generated dungeons and castles to explore. There's shrines and temples with riches to be looted, and massive beautiful cities surviving above the vast lava lakes below. Finding one of these cities and settling it with a bunch of your friends that also start in the Nether, it's just a great time waiting to happen. That being said, I played the Blazeborn for a day, and that is what I learned. Did I miss anything? Be sure to comment down below if I missed any tips or tricks with the Blazeborn that you may have found. I really hope you learned something from this video, and if you did, it would mean a lot if you hit that like button. Is there a specific race you'd like to see me try out next? Comment down below, and if I make a video on your suggestion, your comment will be featured in the start of the video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.